students. Today's session we are going to discuss the topic P block elements. It is in unit 2. So what is P block? P block present in the periodic table, right? It is in the right hand side. When the P block element grouped with S block elements are called as main group elements or representative elements. P block elements occupy groups 13 to 18 of the periodic table, including inert gases. 13 to 18 of the periodic table, including inert gases. These elements in which their lost electron enters the p orbital, so constitute the p block elements. So when we write the electronic configuration of each element, the last electron enters the p orbital. That's why it's called as p block elements. The first member, boron, carbon, nitrogen, oxygen, fluorine and helium respectively, right? The first member of groups, these are called as the first member of groups. For example, the 13 group elements, boron is the head of the family. So boron group elements. Likewise, group number 14, carbon group elements. 15, nitrogen group elements. 16, oxygen group elements. 17, fluorine group elements. 18, noble gases, helium group elements. Right? So the boron family, boron, aluminum, gallium, indium, thallium. Carbon family, carbon, silicon, germanium, tin, lead. Nitrogen family, nitrogen, phosphorus, arsenic, antimony, bismuth. Oxygen family, oxygen, sulfur, selenium, tellurium, polonium. Then fluorine family, called as halogen family, fluorine, chlorine, bromine, iodine, astatine. And inert gases, helium, neon, argon, krypton, xenon, radon. Right? So these elements have quite varied properties, and this block contains metals, non-metals and metalloids. Here the elements given with the color dark blue showing metals, aluminum, gallium, indium, thallium, tin, lead, bismuth, polonium, these are metals, right? Then metalloids, green color, boron, silicon, germanium, arsenic, antimony, then tellurium, metalloids. So non-metals, what are they? Dark violet, carbon, nitrogen, oxygen, fluorine, helium, neon, phosphorus, sulfur, chlorine, argon, selenium, bromium, krypton, iodine, xenon, astatine, then radon. The last in the period, radioactive, NH, nihonium, flerovium, Fl, Mc, moscovium, Lv, livermorium and the Ts. Tennessine, then Og, oganesson. So the last period, radioactive. right? Now, p block elements play dominant part in all natural process. For example, without molecular oxygen, we cannot imagine the survival of living system. So we are inhaling oxygen. All living organism inhaling oxygen, right? The oxygen present in p block elements, the most abundant metal aluminium plays vital role in aircraft as a conductor, right? The aluminium's alloys have plenty of application ranging from household utensil to parts of aircraft. So next, carbon. Carbon is a backbone of all organic compounds. So without carbon, we are unable to get organic compounds, right? Silicon, Si, chips play a vital part in computers. And the nitrogen act as a building block of life. Then molecular oxygen is a cell fuel. So in this unit, we discuss the properties of the first three groups: boron group, carbon group, and nitrogen group of p block elements, and they are important compounds. Let us start off. Question number 1. Write a note on ionization variation in 13 group elements. 13 group elements. So usually in the periodic table, some properties and all we can find it. Regarding the ionization energy, the periodic table left to right increases, top to bottom decreases. So set this point in your mind, right? Left to right ionization energy increases, top to bottom decreases. But here aluminium to thallium, aluminium is the top, thallium is bottom, right? Ionization energy is increases. Ionization energy increases. So what is the reason? Right? It is controversy regarding the ionization energy. Usually top to bottom decreases, but here increases. So what is the reason? This is due to the presence of inner d and f electron, which has poor shielding effect compared to s and p electron, right? The orbital arrangement we have known very well, sp-df, right? The presence of inner d and f electron which have poor shielding effect. Poor shielding effect present means what will happen? The center of the nucleus, the proton attract outermost electron. Outermost electron is very high. As a result, then effective nuclear charge increases. So we have known very well what is ionization energy. Ionization energy, the energy is required to remove one electron from the outermost orbital, right? So when the nuclear charge increases means the proton attracts an electron is very high, right? So unable to remove the outermost electron. So if you want to remove the electron means you have to give high ionization energy. That's why ionization energy is increases in the top to bottom. Usually decreases, but in this place aluminum to thallium ionization energy increases. It is very important. 3 more question. Let us move to the second question. Write a short note on anomalous properties of the first element of P block. The first element, what is that? Boron, right? So different properties, anomalous properties means different properties. Small size of the first member. So boron size is very small. Second one, high ionization enthalpy and high electronegativity. Third, absence of d orbital in the valence shell. So these are the points. First one, small size. Second one, high ionization enthalpy and high electronegativity. Third, absence of d orbital. Right? So these are the different character, different properties the boron has. Next. So group wise, the first elements are given. Head of the family, boron, carbon, hydrogen, oxygen, fluorine, and 18 group elements, all noble gases, right? The boron property of first element, boron is a metalloid and other elements metal, right? Then carbon, non-metal, it can form multiple bonds. Other elements in the family, metalloids, silicon and germanium. Other elements are metals, it can't form multiple bonds. Next is about nitrogen, non-metal, it can form multiple bond, diamagnetic. Other elements in the periodic table about P block, non-metal, phosphorus, metalloids, arsenic, antimony, it can't form multiple bonds. Now, say about oxygen. Oxygen is non-metal, diatomic gas, it forms hydrogen bonds. The other elements in the family, sulfur, selenium, non-metals, tellurium, metalloid, and other are metals. Then fluorine. Fluorine is non-metal, high electronegativity and high reactive. Other elements in the family, non-metals, low reactive than fluorine. So fluorine is a high reactive and high electronegativity also. Okay. In heavier post transition metals, outer s electron have a tendency to maintain inert and show reluctance to take part in the bonding, which is known as inert pair effect. Actually, the third question is, what is inert pair effect? In periodic table, the last group, noble gases or inert gases we can call, right? So here, what is inert pair effect? Inert pair effect means the tendency of the elements, the last two electron does not involve in the bonding, right? That is called inert effect. So I explain it. The electronic configuration of p block elements ns2 np126, right? In ns2, the last orbit electron, 2 electron, does not involve in the bonding, right? So remaining p orbital electron alone is involved in the bonding. That is called inert pair effect. That's why it is given that they have a tendency to remain inert. Does not involve take part in the bonding. ns2 electron does not involve take part in the bonding. That is called inert pair effect. Question number 4. Define allotrophism. Define allotrophism. Allotrophism means what? Some elements in p block exist in more than one crystalline or molecular forms in the same physical state. For example, diamond is made up of carbon, graphite is made up of carbon, right? But both structures are different because they exist in more than one crystalline or molecular forms. One simple example I wish to say, graphite conducts electricity, but diamond is not, because in diamond all carbon atoms are bonded, but in graphite, even though all carbon are bonded, one electron in each carbon is remaining. That electron conducts electricity. That's why diamond shape and the graphite shape and the structure, molecular forms are different. This is called as allotrophism. Question number 5. Write the important ores of boron. 13 group elements. The first element, head of the family, boron. Boron's important ores. Borax. Second one, kernite. Borax formula Na2B4O5 OH4 .8H2O. Kernite Na2B4O5 OH4 .2H2O. B4O5 OH4 will be in bracket, right? These two are important ores of boron. Question number 6. Calculate the balanced chemical equation for the following reaction. Direct combination of metal with boron. Here, the chromium metal, transition metal, make a direct combination with the boron, n number of boron, at 1500 Kelvin temperature. It gives chromium boride, right? Here the boride is a polymer. That's why in suffix small n is given. Second, reduction of boron trihalide. Reduction means what? Addition of hydrogen. The boron trichloride, so generally we can call as boron trihalide. Chlorine is a halogen, so boron trichloride react with tungsten tungsten is a transition metal used in filament in electric bulb, right? At 1500 Kelvin, reduction takes place, right? So hydrogen is added. So what will happen? Metal boride, WB, tungsten boride, generally metal boride, the common name tungsten boride, and the chlorine gas with the hydrochloric acid. Next, third, formation of hydride. Boron forms hydride form. So B2H6 is a diborane. Boron does not react directly with the hydrogen. If you want to prepare the diborane, means the boron does not react directly with the hydrogen. However, it forms a variety of hydride called borane, right? When boron combined with the hydrogen, it gives a borane, right? So the simplest borane is diborane, B2H6. Other larger borane can be prepared from diborane. So the first step, the simplest borane, how to prepare we will see. From boron trifluoride, react with sodium hydride, NaH, around 450 Kelvin gives diborane. So 2 moles of boron trifluoride and 6 moles of sodium hydride at 450 Kelvin gives diborane and 6 moles of sodium fluoride, right? So next, formation of boron nitride. So boron react with nitrogen, it gives boron nitride, Bn, on heating. Then boron gives oxides. Boron react with oxygen at 900 Kelvin. Boron oxide is formed, right? Next, boron react with acids and alkali. Haloacids like hydrochloric acids have no reaction with the boron. So except haloacids, sulfuric acid, nitric acid reacts with the boron. Boron reacts with oxidizing acids such as sulfuric acid and nitric acid and forms boric acid. If you want to prepare the boric acid, H3BO3, called as boric acid, so you have to react boron with oxidizing acids. You should not take haloacids. So boron react with sulfuric acid, it gives boric acid and sulfur dioxide. Likewise, boron react with nitric acid, it gives boric acid and nitrogen dioxide. First one sulfur dioxide gas released, second one nitrogen dioxide gas is released. And alkali, boron react with sodium hydroxide. Sodium hydroxide is called as alkali. Fused to sodium hydroxide, it forms sodium borate. Na3BO3 with hydrogen. Then, so balance the equation. The first one we see boron nitride. Left side nitrogen 2, the suffix 2 is here. So right side you write 2. When you give the 2 means boron also 2. So left side make it 2. Simple equation. Next, the formation of oxides. Here. Left side oxygen 2, right side 3. So first to balance oxygen, here 2 B2O3, 3 O2 means 6 oxygen, left and right side 6 oxygen. So 3 into 2, 2 into 3, 6 oxygen. So boron we see 2 into 2, 4, so 4B. Then boron reactive with the sulfuric acid. See the hydrogen both side. Right side 3 hydrogen, left side make it 3. So 3 by 2, 2 to cancel, 3 hydrogen. And 3 by 2 means belongs to sulfur and oxygen also. So front of the sulfur 3 by 2 give. Now you count the oxygen, 2 to cancel, right side 4 oxygen. Right? Left side also balanced. Then boron react with nitric acid. Boron react with nitric acid. See the hydrogen right side, 3 hydrogen. So left side make 3. And the nitrogen left side 3, right side also 3. Last oxygen we see 3 into 3, 9. Here 3 into 2, 6, 6 plus 3, 9. The last equation, boron react with the sodium hydroxide. Sodium suffix 3. In sodium borate we can find it. So 3 NaOH. Hydrogen, totally 3 hydrogen, left side. So right side make it 3, 3 by 2, 2 to cancel, 3 hydrogen. Oxygen left side 3, right side also 3. Sodium right side 3, left side also 3. Then boron left side 1, right side 1. Thank you.